been over a year since the last time you fought. Do you feel like ring wrestling is going to play a factor?
No, not at all. I try to simulate as much as possible, both in my head and just with the atmosphere, the same atmosphere of a fight. And I think the time apart that you spend from a cage is time that you spend more into just trying to dissect yourself and pick yourself apart, and you just try to work on your weaknesses and, strengthen the strengths that you have already. So I'm trying to use the time right now wisely. And although when it seems I'm the most inactive is when I'm actually, the most active right now. Going back to the drawing board, working on things that I know I could get better at, and things that even I feel I'm okay with, to get even better at those things. Like I said, I'm always ever growing in the sport. Never want to be complacent and just say, I'm happy with this. I just want to fight once a year. But considering I also came back from an injury, I wanted to take that that time to just kind of slowly heal and then get back into it.
And the injury it was a shoulder injury. You're back to 100%, maybe 110%. You feel like it's better than new now?
Yeah. It's good as new.
Good stuff, man. Now, if you say you successfully defend your title against Askren, does Bellator let you compete in other organizations?
Yeah, they will. Bellator has been great, been absolutely generous and great to me as far as competitor in their event, and they're helping me with those building blocks for me to better my career and to be out there and to get my name known. Yeah. So we'll see what they have to offer afterwards. I've been completely happy with how they've treated me, not just myself but all the other fighters and champions as well, and I'm really content with it, and it's definitely a stepping stone for me, so they definitely helped me out with that. As far as what's going to happen afterwards, just have to wait and see.
All right, you open to fighting like over in Dream in Japan? Would that be an option for you?
I love the whole tournament format now. I'm completely hooked, and I love the whole thing about us being complete control over how far we get down to brackets to the to become a world champion. Yeah. So who knows? Like I said, who knows what will happen.
All right, and Dan Hornbuckle's still there in the division. I know you guys are going to be getting super fights. How do you feel about a super fight with Hornbuckle?
That would be amazing. I mean, I felt like it should have been him and I at the end. Yeah. But things happen. He knows how the sport is. You win some, you lose some. Yeah. And he's I'm still a big fan of his, and he's a great fighter. I love his heart and passion, which is one of the main reasons why I would have wished I'd fought him. Just out of respect, just out of it being a good old, like slugfest to the end. And I know he's that type of fighter. Yeah. But take it as it is. I'm sure sooner or later, down the road, we might end up meeting together and clashing heads, maybe fighting one day. Yeah. Completely out of my respect towards him. He's a great fighter.
Explain to us like a typical day here, Tiger Schulman's. I know you sleep in the cage, you wake up, and you go right to training.
Yeah. Well, it all starts in the morning. I mean, obviously you guys woke me up in the middle of my little, nap. But I wake up in the morning. First thing we do, obviously, I just go out and just eat, do a lot of stretching on my own. The lights are still off. I try to just zone in, because when you're in here so much, I just kind of like shut all the lights off, go into a corner, just stretch out and play my headphones, get ready for the day. We get training at 10 in the morning. We get like a 2-hour session, whether on a particular day, maybe it's boxing for an hour and then wrestling for another hour. It changes up every hour what we do. And then we always do plyometrics and conditioning afterwards. And that's just one of my sessions. The whole thing that you guys, were here for and you saw before.
You're here all day to time
I'm here all day.
Right?
Then after that, I have a midday session consisting of either cardio or strength training exercise. We get like a cardio workout, whatever it is. Maybe it's plyometrics on that certain day. Maybe I'll go out, run sprints, run a mountain or something. Then later on in the day, I have a third session where it's another 2-hour class that I do. Another hour of like boxing or kickboxing, another hour of jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and then another strength training exercise at the end. And in between, you're so banged up and beat up, there's no free time. You're using that time wisely just to repair, eat, and sleep, and then wake up, do it again.
Rest and then train more. Yeah.
It's considerably similar to almost being in jail.
But that's what it takes to be the best, brother.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want it to be any other way. In my time here, I feel like I don't want luxuries. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to go through every unnecessary pain, every unnecessary, difficulty that it'll take for the next 2 months to completely put me in that zone I need to be, to think animalistically. Even if I have to dehumanize myself in here for the next 2 months, all the better towards me. So when I get to that fight, I'm just prepared. It's just like rattling a cage, and letting out a dog who's been locked up for 2 months,
Anyone you want to Gonna give a shout out to sponsors, who will help you train, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. We got, I have right now what's helping me with my meals in between, because I'm eating like crazy. Like, I look like the biggest.
Yeah.
I look like the biggest guy in the world, but I have a fat man's soul. Let me tell you, I eat a lot. In Motion Meals has been sponsoring me now. They've been helping me out with my meals, giving me like really good, like lean, like clean proportions. Of like grilled foods, chicken, broccoli and all this stuff.
No junk food, good stuff.
No junk food at all. They've definitely been very, very good. So a big shout out to In Motion Meals. They've been helping me out, sending me, all their good food and stuff. And it's been great. I never had it before, but it's definitely gonna help me out. It's another little tool, in my arsenal to help me cut the weight and be where I need to be, like conditioning wise.
There's a big fight coming up. Pat Curran got injured. Roger Huerta stepped in to fight Eddie Alvarez. What's your prediction for that?
I don't know. I'm a fan of Alvarez, Alvarez going to the end. I think ultimately that is what they wanted to happen.
Yeah.
But not to say anything less about Pat Curran. I've seen his fights. This guy's
Tough
badass.
kid,
yeah, man, knocking people out and everything. But I think that's a great fight for him. It's good to see Alvarez's caliber as far as where he's come from. He's an East Coast fighter. He's one of my neighbors. I'm an East Coast fighter as well. Being pinned up against, somebody who's been in the UFC and seeing him fight somebody like that, it's actually a great thing. It's like a representation of us.
It's the same card as you, correct? October 14th.
Yeah, October 14th.
It's a great card.
Me cheering him on. I love Huerta as well. He looks like an amazing fighter.
Yeah,
he's slick, man.
I'm a fan for life. I don't know if you saw the altercation he had in Texas where the guy hit the girl and he stood up and said something.
Read about it.
He won me over with that one.
Hey, man. That's good stuff. That comes to show you, fighters have, heart. We're not animals and everything. We see something done wrong,
Absolutely.
Step in action, do what you got to do.
The guy was a lot bigger. He was like a former linebacker. So just another
Comes to
example
show
of
you
the
the
skill and technique that you guys have.
Skill, technique, and
fighters.
above that, heart.
Heart. Absolutely. All right, let's take a walk to the cage.
Speaking of heart, let's go to the cage.
Yeah, let's go. That's going to be a.
Watch out.
It's going to be a non-title fight, I heard.
Yeah,
So Curran's going to come back when he's.
It's going to be a super fight for him.
With the Huerta's a super fight.
Yeah.
When Curran comes back, it'll be a title fight.
That'll be a title.
All right, we're here. This is your bedroom, man, for the next 2 months.
Come in. My house.
this is where you sleep.
Your house.
For those of us that don't know, you sleep in the cage every night for your camp. Can you explain why you do this?
Basically, one of the biggest assets any fighter could have going into a fight will always be his mental toughness. And I feel like going to a fight physically, everything you can possibly do, it's 10% of the actual fight. Mentally, it's all 90. I feel like it's 90% of the fight. So the idea behind it was basically, it came from my coach, from the last time I fought in a tournament. He basically said, when you're doing something like this, you're mentally training yourself to be comfortable in the cage. So this way, when you actually go out there and you fight, you have the fans, the lights on top of you. You don't get tense or timid. B, the other reason is because while you're sleeping, you know that you're still training. And while you're going through the displeasure of sleeping in a freaking cage, obviously, your opponent's probably comfortably sleeping at the leisure of his couch, the leisure of his bedroom, and a mattress and everything, and he's comfortable, So I feel like, in a way, like this discomfort, this displeasure, and this pain is kind of, helping me out in the long run to even be more aggressive when I actually go out there and fight, The other reason is obviously because it makes you more territorial. This is your home, this is your house, this is where I sleep, this is where I eat, this is where I do everything, So when I go out there, this is not going to be foreign to me. This is going to be my house, and I'm going to feel like two dogs in a cage. This is my house,
Yeah, and the other dog is in your house, and it's time to get him out.
Yep.
Very nice. Do you ever wake up late at night and just wonder, where you're at, what's going on, or is it constantly in your head?
Well, the crazy thing is that this actually starts to absorb into you in your dreams. So in my dreams, I'm still wired into thinking that I'm training and doing all this crazy stuff. So I wake up, because I twitch in my sleep sometimes, like throwing punches and kicks. So that wakes me up. I'm like, wow, I'm still in a freaking cage. The other thing, all the lights are off. Mm-hmm. So the only thing I get is just a dim light coming in through one of the windows, and it shines a silhouette of the fence, like the fence markings all around me. So sometimes, you know, I wake up from a bad dream or something, I look around, there's like markings like fences. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's crazy, but you know, it takes a little getting used to. But like I said, in the end, this is probably going to be my biggest weapon. You know, is the mental preparation,
absolutely.
and every form of preparation
Really
you
is
can
all
possibly
mostly
do.
mental, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Look forward to your fight with Askren. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Look forward to it as well.
Here with Lyman Good from BuddhaSport.com. Stay tuned for more.